upon doing that, it was a strong, life changing experience to see
What
some
did
of
you
the
see?
brutality that was out there.
What did you see? What? Well, let's talk about what did you believe prior to you seeing it, prior to you seeing and witnessing police brutality. Um, did you think it was possible? Did you think that the stuff on the news or the things that you were hearing, even watching the George Floyd event take place? Um, tell me about your life growing up. How exposed were you to police brutality or even the plight of people of color in America?
Well, I grew up in a very small town. I went to a high school called McLean County, if that says anything. I want to say there was probably at max like six people of color in our schools, usually at once. And I was close friends with two of them, and I could, there was a large, I would say, I don't, far right or country, whatever you want to say, and I could just witness a lot of mistreatment just in there, but just hanging outside of school, it it was very easy to just not realize that it goes home with them, especially being in an area like this, and then just hearing like stories about like how one of my friends woke up one time with a cross burning in the front yard, and to know that stuff like that happens around here and that more people are willing to like share that with their friends is very just good to know, because it's awful that people have had to hold it in fear of like not receiving any help or just being like it's a tough situation because I've never really been in something like that, and I really witnessed, I guess, being like blonde hair, blue eyes, like the white privilege thing. I didn't believe until like I went there, and just how cops would just give me a wave, and then other people walk by of color, and people be reading up like riot shields. Just small notions like that blew my mind, and it's horrible. It was really horrible to see.
So obviously, I come from the Midwest as well. I'm born in Detroit and then also grew up part of my life in Indiana. Made some trips down across the Kentucky border, actually to Louisville, where you're headed. Um, how was it like, just in terms of, the older generation, even, whether that's your parents or whether that's, aunts and uncles or family members, teachers. Um, Now that you're on this journey and you're taking a stance in terms of, wow, I kind of do have privilege in this world, and there is this vast amount of police brutality that is affecting everyone. Don't get me wrong, yes, you got that free pass as you did walking down the street, but there is a mass presence that is disenfranchising and taking advantage of all of us, of all shades. So the whole notion of Blue Lives Matter. I have police in my family. I have people who have served overseas. But there are no blue people on earth.
Exactly. I think people are really misconstruing the whole simple, very simple statement of Black Lives Matter. It's something that if someone takes offense, it's baffling to me. But like as you said, when I was growing up in McLean County area, just like my grandparents to like several other people, like it's very common for people to just be distant and have l- severe racist intentions towards people of color. Like one of my friends, Jordan Hampton, I was trying to get him come over to my house for the first like three times. He was literally too terrified to do it because he was afraid that my parents were going to be racist. And within the area that he lies in, It is very, very understandable. At the time, I had no clue, just because like I wasn't. Luckily, I was raised in a good enough family that taught me that skin color is not something that determines how a person is or how they act. It's literally, we're all humans. We're all humans, and a shade's not going to change us.
Amen to that. Amen to that. So, you had told me offline about an experience about you getting shot with a rubber bullet.
It was a well. At first, I thought they were rubber bullets, but it was a aggravated line of officers that saw us doing a protest chant, and we weren't migrating from the block. And while I was there, just I was filming at the time, all of a sudden you just hear like darts hitting by, and your eyes just instantly start watering. You look on the ground and there's these like paintballs drenched everywhere. I still like have a souvenir of one back at home because of just the insanity of it, where these paintballs that would shoot, but they were filled with, it was like pepper spray or this dust that would just blind you. And we evacuated the parking lot insanely fast. And what vehicles that were there that weren't drove out, that were unlocked, the police officers had then opened the doors, searched the vehicles, and shot rounds into the vehicles, because around 10 minutes later, after they had cleared, I helped a few people go back to just like, because I feel like I have a responsibility having the skin tone that I do, to at least take a lead on certain situations. And I went with him, and we found vehicles riddled with shots when no one was there. It was a They were truly intently trying to cleanse the area and really scare people off. It was a dreadful and adrenaline pumped time. It was a lot. It's just like thinking back on it, really just kind of like, I'm
I
shook.
can see.
And
I
I'm just
can.
thinking about what possibilities could come of this, because it was a Friday night, and it's scary because on Fridays that's when people are getting off work, people that are seeing this, and you also have people that aren't protesting, that are there to just, hey, we can burn a city or we can throw some stuff through windows, and that gives protesters such a horrible name and encourages officers to do even worse acts like this consistently.
So you are again, quote unquote, going to be running into the fire. Uh,
Yes.
we hope that there is no violence and no standoff. But as we know, the police are heavily armed and they have protection for themselves in terms of shields and all the vests and all the protective equipment that they wear. I've seen the Portland protesters with umbrellas and various things. How do you plan on protecting yourself tonight?
At this one, I at least plan, well, just a quick glance in the back. I've got a few people coming with me, so I've got a few cameras and people to keep on site. But this thing right here, it's a one wheel that gets me around pretty fast. I'm hoping at least early on, I'm going to be getting some safe distance, quick movement, nice shots, and hopefully at least keeping just enough away. But as the night goes on and the battery dies on that thing, it's really, I'm just going to have to hope on the brotherhood of everyone that's there to rally together and stop any pursuing forces at that point, because it gets hectic once the sun goes down.
We got a comment that I do have to mention, just to lighten the mood. That somebody just complimented your shoes. So I guess you got some nice kicks in the back. So let's
I
not
had to, like, this right
get
now,
those
this is
busted
just kind
up.
of the early fit, but as the night goes on, I will probably have to switch to the running shoes.
I understand, and we hope that you've been doing some push-ups and some but I'm Zach. As a person of color, I do want to thank you Um,
And literally,
putting your body
anytime or
on the
any way I
line.
could help, it is
And
truly an honor to be able to assist in any way possible.
yeah, I'm proud of you, and I'm proud of
Thank you.
your generation. We all have to do our part. We all have to, play our role. As LeBron James plays his role, as political figures play their roles, as we play our roles. Um, there's a difference between being an ally and being a member of the human race. So I
Yes.
thank you for being a member of the human race and
Thank you.
recognizing
Thank you.
that, all these color lines that they're trying to separate us and classify us in don't mean anything. And we can change the laws together. So I thank you for your help, brother.
Anytime, anytime. On a random side note, I'm glad we did have this conversation before I went, because one thing I've realized just during this interview, I'm definitely, probably for running and just broadcasting in general, I'm definitely going to have to get me a hair tie.
Yeah, you're gonna need to tie it up a little bit.
Yeah, no, it's
Tie
going to
it up
get
a
a
little
lot more
bit.
intense than just sitting in a car.
Definitely should tie it up a little bit. And I would always advise you, as an elder, I'd be remiss to advise you, please have a legal number on you,
Yes.
written on you just in case. The ACLU is a great resource. But of course, us here at the HAPS community, we'll be watching you and making sure that we do our best to keep a light on you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Just slide into my DMs if you need me later.
I
Send me
got you.
a
I
text.
got you.
Like, Zeke, man, shit's getting wild, man. Where I gotta go, man?
Oh, you're bound to get probably 2 or 3 of those tonight.
All right. Well, I can't wait to go live with you tonight, and hopefully, you will be in a safe enough place that we can speak.
Yes. All right. Well, best of luck, and I'm gonna go ahead and get this journey on because I'm about like an hour 30 out, so I gotta go ahead and link up with the rest of my team, and we'll be out on the field.
Well, let me just ask you a question. As me being a DJ, I got to know what are you listening to on this journey?
Oh, changes. Let me feel like this is the best time the song could be used.
Tupac changes. Was it Tupac changes? You broke down for a second. I didn't hear what you said.
Oh,
Hello?
tragically, I think I've lost a bit of sound. Try talking one more time for me.
Hey, Zach, can you hear me now?
Oh,
Can you
looks
hear me
like
now?
okay. Well, maybe I shouldn't have done that minimize. I guess this might be a good time to wrap. Sorry about that, Zeke.
No
I'm gonna go
problem.
ahead and get the rest of this packed in. Uh, my lady over there, she just went and got me a gimbal for the phone, so hopefully I can get a bit more steady camera. Other
I
than
really
that,
like that she's wearing her
uh,
mask. That's great. Keep
safe
those
drive
masks
out
on.
here, and
Can you
I'll
still
be in
hear me?
contact soon.
Can you hear me? No? All right. Thank you. So, guys, that was great. We were just on with Zach Walker, who is going to be joining us tonight. I'll be broadcasting tonight, later tonight, with him live from Louisville. As you know, there's a lot going on right now with Breonna Taylor. We still need justice for Breonna Taylor. It is a horrible injustice what the Attorney General has done in terms of leading the grand jury astray and not even really truly, in my belief, having a grand jury of her peers. How can a black woman die and continue to die for no reason? And nobody is accountable. But there's a lot going on in our nation, and we need to fix these things. These tragic accidents seem to continue to happen, and they only continue to happen horribly. On that note, my name is Zeke Thomas.